Hello, and welcome to episode 20 of the Joysticks Canada Gamescast. In case you've never caught the show before and you are new, we are we're a handful of Canadian guys who grew up in the 80s, and we like to yammer on and on about video games and stuff like that. See, look at Richard, he's yammering.
And a
Um,
handful.
what's that?
And a handful.
A handful of yammering. Yeah, so we're actually
It's
recording
all
this
about
live.
accessibility.
Yeah, we're recording live on twitch.tv/joysticks Canada. That's joysticks with an X, in case you somehow don't know. It's Tuesday, October 20th. But if you're not watching live, you'll be able to catch it on YouTube later, sometime later, soon, or pretty much any podcast service that exists. I got Richard, Nick, Santino, and John. All lovely gentlemen, just very handsome men.
Excuse me.
Except that guy. So yeah, there's surprisingly a decent amount of stuff that happened in the last week. I love that we're actually doing this weekly instead of incredibly randomly. It's been pretty solid for, I don't even know how, like 8 weeks now in a row. I think we've done this, so it's hopefully continue.
We deserve a cookie.
Yeah, some type
Or
of
something.
ribbon participation award.
Something.
I totally just threw up my back, patting myself on the back.
Yeah. Oof. Ow. I'm
That's
so
how old we are.
So old.
Yeah. That's very old.
Yeah. So I don't know if any of you are even interested in this or not. I know two of you have kids. Well, three of us have kids. The Mario Kart. What's the full name of it? Mario Kart Live Circuit, Home Circuit.
Home
I think
circuit.
it is.
Yeah, live home circuit.
So this is in real life, the IRL Mario Kart. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw it, Nick's giving the mad thumbs down. We'll get to that in a second. When I first saw like the initial trailer for it, I was actually pretty blown away. Just for obvious reasons, everyone loves Mario Kart. But I've been, I guess, lucky enough to move into a house this year that has nothing but hardwood floors on the main floor. And when they were racing around when they were racing around in the video, I was like, oh my god, this looks like so much fun. It's got the gates and you can do all sorts of crazy shit with it. It looks really fun. And then all the reviews started coming out, like I guess this past week or so, and every single review is like, how the fuck am I supposed to play this in my apartment? And I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people that do not have room for this.
You need a 10 by 12 space for you to plot the course out.
Minimum.
Minimum.
And it has to be
Yeah.
hard. It has to be like hardwood floors or cement, I guess, like a basement, like an unfinished basement, maybe.
And so these people who live in these condos, did they not think about that prior to buying this?
Well, let's hope
Right.
that they didn't buy it and then get home
Yeah,
and say,
the reviews.
what the heck?
Yeah.
But honestly,
the
all
review-
the bad
the
reviews,
reviews, yeah.
like that's really the main the negative point that I saw on all of this was like, how am I supposed to play in my apartment or my carpeted main floor? I'm like, well, sorry, but don't. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like
Like,
we
don't-
make the
don't,
game
it's
for
not
that.
for
We made the
you,
game
is
for this
it?
space.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh.
don't get VR either if you live in a
That's it.
shoebox. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like
It's just like Labo as well, right? I looked at that and I was like, that's a fucking awesome idea. Never gonna pay anybody for it, right?
No.
Don't want a whole bunch of cardboard hanging around my house, but it's not for me.
Honestly, we ended up by buying it, and it was stupid. Honestly, like it was the most fluttery, cumbersome piece
Yeah.
of garbage.
I bought the robot one.
Great.
Like
Yeah.
Evan and I attempted to put it together. He lasted about half an hour, and he was like, "This is boring, Daddy." I'm like, "Yeah, well, let me finish it, and then we'll play with it after." It took 4 hours to put it together,
holy shit.
and that's not me being incompetent, even though it could be. But it
Wow.
actually says on the box. It says on the box 4 hours to assemble. So
That's
I
a
was basically
huge
right on
investment.
4 hours. And after I was done,
Not cheap
it was
either.
relatively well. I got it for some stupid blowout sale at Walmart. It was like $20 down from $100. I can't imagine paying $100 for that thing. But like even after it was all assembled,
steep,
Evan
dude.
tried to play it and he was like, "This is okay, I guess." I was like, "Ah, fuck's sake." So I just ended up giving it to some kid or whatever. It was like some other kid that was dying to play with it. I was like, "You know what? Have fun. This thing."
Well,
sucks."
yeah. What I'm saying is, Nintendo, out of all of the developers and console manufacturers, they take the most risks,
Well, they
bar none.
yeah.
Right? They are the ones
Yeah.
who are out there being like, yeah, Mario Kart, but what if in your fucking living room? Like nobody else is trying that out with anything else that they're
Well,
building.
And it's
Like Microsoft and their augmented reality stuff,
yeah.
Ne-
but
never
it's
came,
not as
glass.
never
it's not
came
as
out.
mainstream.
HoloLens
Oh,
Yeah,
that's true.
HoloLens,
That's true.
that's it.
Yeah.
never came
HoloLens.
out. Right?
Yeah,
Like
that's not out
okay,
yet, eh?
no, and
So-
it never will. They've been talking about that for 8 years now. It's not there's not a consumer
Not in the consumer
version of
market.
that
Not in the
yet.
consumer market. No.
And
And I
Yeah, you know,
think because it's like it's a sidestep to VR. It's not like people want to go VR. They don't want to go half VR. I don't know.
Sure.
That's what I think.
it's
a
got
transition.
military application, but you know what though? It's got military applications, and you know
So does Mario
Microsoft has
Kart.
already been involved.
You learn how to pilot the thing into like
You saw that Call of Duty
Islamabad,
video?
wherever.
You saw that Call of
exactly.
Duty video where he
Shut
blew up
some
the
bombs.
airplane?
They already do that, man.
You
They
learn
already
about
Just
the
go
rest
underneath
of
the
thing.
doors that have this huge, massive gap all the time. Just convenient.
What would be
So-
really cool
Exactly.
is if they could actually project out and then have drones fly through like little gates that you can go through. That would be like, right, everyone's got a backyard, everyone's got a space that's up in the air. With these virtual gates that you can plot, yeah, totally down for that.
I don't think everyone has a backyard. It's the same principle, though, right? Like, not all these.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people who are
those same
complaining about
people
having
don't
an
have
apartment,
backyards. Hell, my
Exactly.
backyard, I have
Yeah,
a backyard, and it's still not big enough to
They
do
have a
something like
park, but it's also
Go down to the
not
park.
all these things in the park.
Uh,
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
But you know what
The
though?
long and short
These
of it
things
is-
just aren't. Yeah, the problem is unless you're going to have a unit that's as big as a DJI, the wind factor and open they cause so much drift, right? Like they've got to be GPS oriented because the minute you go hands off, the thing's just gone down the street.
Yeah.
I ended up by having one that was, a good 12 inches by 12 inches. And I said, hey, I got to take this up as high as I can take it before I start losing vision. And a gust of wind took it. Boom. The controller stopped
Gone.
responding and it was gone.
Jeez.
Give it time, man. Give it time. You know that's like probably what their next steps are going to be to take it from the ground into the air, or go completely virtual.
I
So
will
they-
absolutely play the Pilot Wings version of this.
Or
100%.
Star Fox?
Like, I'll be
Star
the
Fox?
dude
Like a
dropping
Star
out
Fox?
the window.
Yeah.
Hands down.
like a Star Fox,
Do
what do you call it? Drone. Star Fox drones or something.
Dan, are you gonna buy it?
Have Flippy. I don't know. I honestly, I was looking for my son to make sure he's not there.
Right.
I was going to buy it for him for Christmas, but it's $130 Canadian,
That's
Yeah.
pretty steep, dude. That's pretty
Yeah.
steep.
and it's
He did
one
break two
player.
controllers.
It's one player.
Okay, that's a step and a half.
Unless you have like a friend who has the game and they can come over and like race with you, but they need their own Switch, their own cart thing, their own everything.
So that's like a minimum of $260 investment if you want to do two players. So
Yeah. Or
Yeah, nope.
I have Mario Kart sitting on my Switch right behind me. I'm like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll just play
Shut
that.
up
I'll
and
just
play this,
that.
kid.
yeah.
But all of
I'll play Mario
but
Kart
all of
8.
this is but all of this is a takeoff from the Anki drive or the overdrive, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
these are the progressive step up from slot car racing that people are trying to recapture some of that lost entertainment, right? The simplicity of like racing around. And I was really disappointed to hear that Anki kind of got bought out or they won under or whatever the case was. But
I don't know what
such a
happened.
great idea, like.
I remember doing the advertising for them. I actually did the
I'm-
online marketing for that company.
slot cars were so much fun though, and there is because you have that social aspect to it, and it's multiplayer because you're usually in a tournament or you're there with like your two other buddies that have other
yeah.
slot cars, and you're just firing away, right, trying to get the fastest car that you can.
Yeah, but
You
they
can
don't
still
need to
buy
bring
them.
over their own track. They don't need to bring over the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
with this Mario Kart thing, they have to bring over their whole unit, their own game,
And
separate
True.
block game.
True. Like,
With
the-
those
It
slot
would have been
cars, you
better
just
if they.
have it in your pocket.
Yeah, it would have been better if they went like a micro machine size because then your play field is literally the size of like a 6x6
Your
desk.
It could
square
be your
area,
desk.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And they give you like a VR head up type of thing, so you're always looking at field view, right? So they
That's
give you a
cool.
Google Cardboard, you put your phone
Yeah.
in it, and give you a controller.
Nice. That's
You
where
know, like
That was the
That
other.
would be
That was the
cool.
other complaint that they had. Actually, the only other complaint, and it wasn't a big one, was the field of view was weird because, like in Mario Kart games on the Switch or any system, you're looking at the entire kart from behind. And this
Third
one,
person,
this one, it's like an F1 view where it's like you see like the top of Mario's head, and you
Cockpit
look
or
forward.
nothing.
So you can't shoot anything behind you in the game. Like you can't lay a banana down, you can't do anything from behind.
What?
Everything's in front. Just because you
Can you
can't see
throw
behind
bananas in front of you?
you. I don't know.
Why would that matter though? Wouldn't you pressing it, the person behind you would see it?
I don't know. I guess
Oh,
it's
but because
you
there's
can't
no
see it.
virtual
You can't
mirror.
see it. Yeah, there's no
You
got-
rear view or whatever.
Virtual.
Yeah.
They should have just put a virtual mirror or something.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I don't know, man. Anyways,
Fuck,
you know
I
what they
I'm
really should
pretty
have done
much-
was gone with a larger fisheye, and then superimposed a digital Mario there. Like, I mean, you have a physical car that looks like Mario, but then the superimposed version of what you'd have on like a Mario Kart, right? Because then he would have like the body motions and crap like that, right? I don't know.
I think we're
this is
thinking too
version-
much into it.
Yeah, this is version 1, right? I mean, all they're doing is prototyping a viable technology.
Well, this is Nintendo
Yeah,
though. This
yeah.
is probably it. Like they probably I can't see them doing another version of this. They like
Oh,
they,
and
they
speaking
like to
of
do
it-
they like to do things once and then move on. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Especially when-
Star Wars Squadrons. I was really disappointed to hear that they're not doing any expansions. That $40 game is as good as it's gonna get. Like they're not doing anything more.
That's what they
Oh,
say.
that's
Really
unfortunate.
disappointed by that. I was like, dude, I want a Corvette to fly. And that's it.
Yep.
No, that's pretty bold though. That no extra ships, no extra nothing.
That sucks. I thought it was doing pretty good in sales, and I thought it was going to give a good boost to like VR and.
I mean, it is doing very well in sales, and it did.
So, like,
give
why
quite the
wouldn't they-
boost to VR? But
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, why wouldn't they have just piggybacked off that and just even if they just planted the seed of more DLC, even just in 2020 or 2021, just say that. You have
so
a year and a bit.
the company that developed it, they're called EA, and they fucking suck.
Oh,
so,
yeah, no, that's
I don't know
right,
if you
yeah,
heard about
fuck
EA,
them.
but,
That's right. Yeah,
they
fuck
came out and
them.
they're
That's
like,
right.
"You fucking suck,"
That's
and they
right.
don't know what to
Yeah.
do with the Star Wars license. They just don't know what to
Jesus.
do with it.
It's
Except
like they just
Jedi Fallen
planted
Order.
seeds everywhere
And
in the
Rogue.
Star Wars universe and seeing what sticks.
Not Rogue Squadrons.
Battlefront.
Oh, Battlefront.
Battlefront was
was
cool.
cool.
Battlefront 2 was
Battlefront
great.
2 was
Battlefront
good.
2.
Yeah.
It got good.
After
Yeah.
after the whole debacle of the microtransactions.
I was fine with the
shit.
first iteration of it. It didn't.
4,800 hours to get
Whatever.
everything.
Like I was never gonna play it that
The
long.
sense
anyway.
of accomplishment.
Oh yeah, that was.
That was a
They
PR.
just
That was a PR disaster. That was
they just kept
Oh,
on putting their
that
foot
was-
in their mouth. They just kept
Oh
on
my god,
shooting themselves.
that was
That was
so
a nightmare.
classic.
Really
I'm like, there's
stupid.
no player that's ever going to do that. Like, well, I shouldn't say that so boldly. I'm just saying there's a lot of people
Yeah, no, I know
aren't really
what you
going to invest that much time, and it's
Yeah.
just
Like that's like how many gamers or how many people have actually spent that much time in one game ever? Like, and they're gonna do it in this game,
not me.
right? I don't even think I have that much time in iRacing.
Yes, you do. I know you do.
Damn it.
Has anyone checked out? I'm not even sure if this is updated yet, but the PlayStation Store should have updated, and apparently it was like
I heard about that today.
apparently
it's
it was
like-
like messing up a bunch. Like the big thing for me was the wish lists getting deleted.
That
Because I don't
sucks.
know about anyone else.
Just-
I actually used them a lot because it was I don't know. I don't know about you, but I don't have like $80 a week to buy new games, so it was like I'd toss a bunch of stuff in the
Yep.
wish list there and wait for it to be on sale on PS Plus or whatever. And they're like, "No, we're just gonna take them away, and we have no plans on putting anything else in." I'm like, "What?" And then they just moved on. I was like, "No, wait, what?" But like I
It's
literally
not.
just logged in now, and everything's the same as it was. There's still wish lists, there's still everything. So I'm wondering if it's
You
being
didn't
rolled
get the
out.
update.
It must just be getting rolled out
Maybe.
slowly or something.
Probably. That's
So-
how they usually do those
Or they're
things.
fielding everybody's
Their
complaints.
web store. So their web store is what's been upgraded. It's not their in console store.
Oh, okay.
And that's
It's
what I'm
in
looking at.
preparation though,
I'm
right?
looking at the web store.
They changed the trophies too. I saw I have 194 now. I don't know what the fuck that means.
They
But
added
it wasn't that
more,
high
you think?
before.
They added more?
So
I don't
there's
think that they added more. They just changed how they're calculated.
yeah. They've also
Really? That's weird.
they've added the PS5 game pre-orders now, so that if you want to start like piling up your game catalog,
okay, cool.
go for it.
Does anyone have a digital pre-order? Like, I don't remember if I asked that someone.
Dan does.
They don't. That's an interesting thought because I mean, the retailer I work for, we also do digitals, and all of our stuff is all physical copy right now.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, Santino, you're talking about digital,
Oh,
like
sorry.
the digital system or a digital game
No,
pre-order?
No, sorry, a PlayStation 5 digital, the digital
Okay.
version of PlayStation 5
Yeah,
pre-order.
Dan's got one, right?
Yeah, I've got
Alright.
it pre-ordered. Yeah.
So
Dan's
some of
got
the
like 5 or 6 of them.
some of the reviews about what's missing are there's no screenshot or gameplay videos on their game pages. There's no download file size listed on the game pages. There's no wishlist support, which we've already mentioned, and then you can no longer add game/product to your cart from the listing view. So I don't know if that's changed
Who's
since,
making these decisions?
Oh, it's.
but it
it's
could also
start-
be like this is.
Sorry
Go
to
ahead.
interrupt. It's starting. It says beginning tomorrow. I thought it was. I thought it was
I
supposed
thought
to
it
be
was-
today because Tuesdays are usually
Same.
like update days.
So
Whatever.
it'd be interesting to see if they
Well, holy
actually.
shit! Fast and the Furious 11 will be the final film in the saga.
No,
Oh,
no, it won't. No, it won't. We all know that.
Hobbs and
forget-
Shaw 18 coming out next month.
That's right, yeah, exactly.
They do have
how
to
many
do.
times can they save the world?
Come on.
For guys that race
Aren't they
fast
going to
cars.
space? Aren't they going to space in this next one?
I hope so. I really hope so. I'll actually watch that.
That would be amazing.
I'll watch that.
I want to watch it now.
Is this where Vin Diesel turns into Riddick?
rocket to go fuck into space.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking hilarious. I'm gonna have my so super duper rocket. I'm gonna fucking go.
Yes.
What he's got to do is he's got to do
Richard's
something from the
face.
Riddick series.
I know we've gone from Food Store to Fast and the Furious. I'm like Fast and Furious 3D. What is that happening, man? Come on.
Okay, so back on track.
Did we not have show notes? I thought this was included in the show notes.
No, it definitely was not. I know you're lying. I think John's probably the only other person that's interested in this. The
Quickly typing it into the show notes now.
oh my God.
I was just gonna
Add
do
it
it.
in. Add it in.
Yeah. So
Missiles.
you're talking about the soundtracks, right? There.
Yeah, so Twitch just recently, I think it was announced or released, like a crapload of royalty-free music and stuff specifically for streamers, which is kind of cool.
So what some of the streamers used to do before was they would go on Spotify and look up the royalty-free music that they could put as part of their streams, or any other kind of music service. Do the royalty-free search and then grab whatever it is that they feel is going to accommodate their stream well. I'm just happy that Twitch actually has taken the time to go and say, here's catalogs of music that you can have that we are not going to ban you for, or we're not going to take your content offline because it's seen as copyright infringement. That was like 2 or 3 of my streams got completely banned because I was using like some copyrighted material, and I was like, oh, there's actually copyrighted. Because it was
for
like
old
old tracks. I'm
for
like,
3 minutes.
Really?
Oh, some games as well. Some games that have music in them.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
You'll get
Will
banned
flag.
because
More
you're
about the-
playing a
it's
game
more
with
about the
licensed music. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So I've
Yeah.
had that before on YouTube, and actually today. So maybe just a weird, funny coincidence of events, but Twitch informed streamers across its platform on Tuesday that it has deleted content violating music copyright laws after receiving a sudden influx of DMCA takedown requests. So it just so happens that they launch a brand new platform that allows you to leverage music for your streams and also get a sudden influx of DMCA takedown requests and delete your videos.
I'm sure
And
there
then-
was like a back catalog or like a back
I
number
100%
of
guarantee they were just like, what if we just sat on this until this product was ready? And
Oh,
now
yeah,
the product's
yeah.
ready. Now we can just be like, sorry, your shit got taken down. But also, have you seen this new shit that you can get as a partner?
Yeah.
So- That's really smart.
You know,
As a business model, right? To go, hey, we
It's
see
horribly unethical, but yes, it's very smart.
yes,
No, but also another reason why I think they might have done that too is because there've been a lot more services that you pay like $10 or $15 a month, and you can have a plethora of different music downloads that are royalty free, or that you have the rights
Or
to
just
use or
streamed on a
whatever.
radio station or whatever. Yeah. I've seen
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So there was a lot of those sites popping up, and like for a YouTube streamer or whatever, $10-15 a month is nothing with the thousands that they're pulling in, right?
yeah, man.
Sure.
So I think that's Twitch is just trying to capture that market as well.
They are. It just kind of feels oddly coincidental that they haven't had one of these
Yeah.
massive influxes since when was the last one? It's been a while since they did like the really en masse takedowns.
Yeah.
And the way that they framed it too is super. I'm just reading a Polygon article about it, but super irresponsible. So they're essentially saying like, "Hey, we deleted some offending videos for you that were flagged. There are other videos in your library that are also offending. That's
They
it.
don't tell you which ones.
Good luck. Go find them." Yeah, like so. People are like, "Oh, I created this script that downloads all your VODs, so you can back them up." And nobody has any idea. You know, and these are are sometimes professional streamers that are trying to save their content.
Yeah, well, they usually flag it, right? So in your video manager,
Usually.
if it's ever been flagged with some kind of copyright infringement, they'll go, "Bam, this one has been the sound in this has been muted," or
So
this has been flagged
the
as
sentence here.
material.
I totally agree. So stuff that gets flagged gets taken down. To avoid receiving a DMCA takedown notification for the recorded content that remains in your channel, okay, we recommend you take the following actions: review all of your clips and VODs. Then there's a creator camp thing that they're doing, and then review the Twitch DMCA guidelines. So you're right. Maybe it sounds maybe it's a little bit of an overreaction.
A little bit more like anonymous.
A little nebulous, right? Like check your 8,000 videos that you have for any other clips that might violate, but we didn't get a DMCA notice for, because it's a three strikes you're out program that they run. So that's the other big catch to this.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, that I didn't know. Like if it's 3 strikes and you're out, like okay.
So what everybody is suggesting is download all your VODs, bring them fuck off anywhere else, doesn't matter, or then take the time to go through and look through them, and then mass delete them. Right, get rid of them, which is a fucking horrible idea. But anyway, I guess if you're at 2 strikes, that's your choice, or you lose access to the channel.
Yeah,
that's such a fucked up position to put the people that contribute to your platform in.
Yeah. Also, Jeff Bezos has added $72 billion to his net worth in 2020. So all completely unrelated.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Worth talking about because it's brutal.
How many PlayStation 5s do you think Jeff Bezos has put in a pre-order for?
That's crazy though. 3 strikes in your run. I wonder if there is a grace period that they are like, here, if you've had a certain number of strikes, they are removed from the record after 60 days, 90 days, a year, something like that, right?
Nope.
Man, I guess
maybe why that's Dr. Doom or whatever his name is, Dr. Disrespect or whatever.
Dr. Disrespect?
Yeah.
That's it.
I think he got
maybe that's why
banned.
he got.
I think he got
maybe that's why.
Banned.
Yeah.
But for what though?
It was a matter of time that he got banned. He was doing all sorts of.
He was doing some bad
icky shit.
Oh really?
Well, one of the things that he did was, I know it's getting off topic, but one of the things he did, he recorded a stream in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Which initially it's like kind of funny, but there's like little kids taking a whiz like right behind him. I'm like, that's a bit fucking weird.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And then they banned him for that for like a month or something like that, and then he did other stupid shit. I'm like, hey buddy, you can't like. So they basically were just making they were just making what do you call it? Making a model out of him or whatever, making an example out of him. Yeah.
Gotcha.
The only other thing that I saw that was kind of interesting was I know a bunch of you schmoops are playing Ghost of Sushi, and I saw that what is it, Legends or whatever it's called, is this like crazy free co-op update. When did that come out? Did that just come out yesterday?
Oh, Friday.
Came out last Friday.
Yeah.
Has anyone played like the co-op portion, or
Yep. Yeah.
is it?
How is it?
So is it a quote unquote game changer, as
So
everyone
so
says?
so
But
before there's multiple modes, right? So
Yeah, there-
John's going to tell you.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was gonna say like Rich and
No,
I
I
have
was just going to
co-op,
say, so there's
and
like a two-player story co-op mode, yeah.
and then there's the three of us have played the survival mode.
Yeah, John and I played the first level of the story mode as well, and it is phenomenal.
So explain it
Yeah.
to me. Is it different than
Unreal.
the single player story?
It's completely different. It's,
Yeah.
What?
So the concept, the creative conceit
Oh.
here.
Whole other storyline.
What the
Yeah.
fuck? That's
Whole
insane.
other. But they've simplified the
You're hunting
dynamic.
for like onis and stuff like that. It's all about like they went more supernatural with the co-op play,
Yeah,
taking in a lot of the Japanese folklore and
Yeah.
building it around this time period, which
Right.
is absolutely astounding, given the visual fidelity that this game has
Yeah.
is absolutely mind blowing.
The giant enemy
everything-
crabs. The giant enemy
Eh.
crabs. You need those.
So you do have some giant enemy crabs.
Only
So
with tentacles.
The first level that we played, I'll paint you a word picture here, okay? The first level that we played, the co-op version, the legend was of these two individuals who had their hearts stolen by the Oni, and they were trying to use these hearts to like tether themselves together to become more powerful. But the fucking environment. So okay,
Yeah.
the creative conceit, what I was saying before, is that everything that happens or that narratively like happens as folklore, or like this this story that you've probably passed on for generations in Japan of like, here's what this samurai did to defeat the Oni. That they've done that. They've then taken that as a narrator. He's telling that story, and then they're literally painting it verbatim. Right? Obviously not the way it happened, unless there are like demons that I don't know about. But they've taken it literal, and then they've created that thing. So they were just like pulsing hearts all up in the sky and shit. The colors that they used, the environment that they built, just for this one like vertical slice of story, for this one part of a much broader story,
Mhm.
was phenomenal.
Surrounded by shadow, surrounded by blood.
Oh, incredible.
You're seeing spirits and phantasms just like all throughout. The game mechanics,
Should I drop
No.
acid before this?
totally. You're gonna get the best script.
Sweet. Okay,
So the-
cool. Just wanted to check.
AKA, I do not recommend that you use drugs at all.
Stay in
I
school,
assume
stay
no
in-
responsibility
stay in
for
school.
anyone using drugs and
Stay in
it's
school,
flying out
kid.
their window.
Quick disclaimer.
We don't condone the use
Say no to
of
drugs.
any
Say no to
sort of
drugs.
prohibited materials.
Illicit
Unless you get them for
That
free.
maybe-
Unless you
Please,
get them
please
for
don't sue
free.
us. Please don't sue us. Please don't sue us.
So,
Yeah.
with
Hey,
that
but it's
disclaimer,
over.
With that being
It
said,
is-
yes. With that
It's
being
his
said,
dream.
the environment that they put you in is quite that of a dream, quite that of a story or a myth or a legend, and it's totally suited for the different kinds of character classes that you kind of be in. And then they change the game mechanics enough for co-op and enough for multiplayer that it gives you this unique experience outside of the solo campaign, and I love it.
Mm.
I can't wait to play it on PS5 in months.
How about Nick? Why don't you talk about
Yeah,
what
no
we did in survival?
Yeah, because you're the only one of
So
us
there is
that
the-
beat it.
So is it like horde mode?
Yeah,
or
yeah, so-
how
so
much
we-
different
we
than
played
horde
it-
mode is it?
Much. Some similarities, but enough that it's different. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it's kind of like capture the flag, but kind of like base maintaining, right? I mean, like you've got different areas, but I think it's the maps that really kind of give you the aspect of how you want to go accomplishing, and of course with the different 4 classes, there's always an opportunity to take advantage of whatever class that you're in, to take advantage of the map, and to try to take advantage of groups and ganging and whatnot. So last night the 3 of us played, and we opened it up, and I was just like, crap, why is it just the 3 of us? We got one more guy, and honestly, you need that 4th guy.
Oh, yeah.
Without that 4th player, you really have absolutely no chance of beating these levels. And I think the highest we got to was like either 11 or 12,
So,
and it was good, but I mean, like we failed a couple of times, and I think it was like level 3, and we're like, what the hell are we doing? Because the instructions are really, they throw you in, and it's just kind of like go and figure it out for yourself type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but after the fourth go, you're kind of like, all right, I'm starting to kind of understand the mechanics of this.
Yeah.
But afterwards,
You start
I
seeing the
jumped on.
patterns.
And so I jumped in afterwards, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to give this a go one more time. And I just jumped in with a bunch of other random guys, and we made it to the last. And I died like probably 4 or 5 times. Anyway, it was respectable.
Yeah.
And the last boss, honestly, I had no chance. I was dead for like, I don't know, I just watched these 3 other guys just own these bosses, and I was just like, I'm so underleveled for this crap. But just like bonus tiers and whatnot. So every time, so you start with 4 different bases kind of plugged around these maps, and there's no defenses, there's no building. It's just basically just you against everybody else. And there's the narrator that's kind of playing in the behind, like when you die, he's like, "Oh, a ghost has fallen," type of thing, and and it's interesting. And then they do give you the option to kind of buy these power ups that you can selectively use at any point in time.
Yeah,
it's engaging and it's fast paced. And after 30 minutes, like that was the match from all the way through was 33 minutes.
Oh wow!
And we played a bunch of times. And I was just like, holy crap. And my hands were sweaty and shaky afterwards. And I was just like, oh, God, like, this is intense. So it was good. It was really fun. And
so much fun.
They're leading up to it being opening to a raid. So there are some really high-level players. And I've watched a couple of videos on this already about how they've really taken the classes to kind of maximize the potential for kills and strikes. But they've kind of said, the real key is to maximize on the bonus structure. So while you're in the game, individuals will get challenges or bonuses that you can fulfill by doing different feats type of thing, like killing 3 guys within a set amount of seconds.
Yeah.
And that gives you a massive boost in XP.
Or like getting a certain number of headshots or doing enough of the perfect parries or whatnot. I saw them after when we left, and I was like, oh, we should have focused a little bit on not just trying to keep the land that we got, but also trying to get some of these extra bonuses that you
do. The one challenge, and I was saying this earlier, is that you can't button mash in this game, right? It's not like God of War where the guys are going to just kind of bounce off of your strikes. These guys dodge, and they'll attack you back. And so you've got to really plan more effectively. And I had a very difficult time, and I think I complained about this last night, is just going from one game to another to this game. It's very uncomfortable to try to get the dodge, the roll, the parry, and everything else to take advantage of that, because you can't just run in and just mash everybody. You got to really be systematic about how you do it. So
that's the one thing that I remarked about when we were playing, was there's a lot more strategy in Legends than there is in Gears, right? When you're doing Gears Hoarders mode. So yeah, because you get the Fabricator and you can use that to create all kinds of obstacles and give you a little bit of extra perk, but they have in Legends, it's all kind of placed around the map for you already. So like all the spirit drums where you go to renew your health, or all the perks that you can buy. And even just having the different classes, like Nick was saying, you have to kind of build out a different strategy for how you want to maintain each of those bases, or how you want to fight at each of those bases. So you're going to have an influx of enemies that are going to come in, and so you have to kind of handle it in different ways. It's neat, man. I like it.
I'm totally going to. I'm totally going to buy the. Yeah, I'm going to buy the game because of this. This sold me.
You rented it, right? You rented it, and you're like, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, the single player was
when
great,
you get to a highness level, I mean, and just imagine when they open up the raid, and that whole area, like if they put this much effort into just this content, what the hell is raid going to look like?
It's going to be
because I mean, we kind of laughed, and I kind of made a joke about Anthem earlier, and how I used to play that and whatever, and I was just like, yeah, it was all about the end game, and you look at the end game quality, and I'm like, fuck. If BioWare could have taken a slice out of what these guys have done in order to create that extra little bit of content for that kind of a game, you would have gotten a little bit more out of it. But I mean, this is just a whole new, and it's also about the folklore. I think it's also about the setting. It's about your character. It's about some of the cosmetics. I mean, the cosmetics. Like I went into it afterwards and I looked at the detail, and it was stupid insane. Like it's there's that level of detail that you just don't get for these kind of games that they've thrown in there, and they've just said, "Here, have at it."
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait to play it, man.
Yeah, me too.
I guess besides Ghost of Tsushima, what like has anyone been playing anything else? I know I gave Age of Empires 3 a very brief little try because the definitive edition came out on PC.
How was it?
It honestly it looks good, but it's I don't know how
Still
to put
plays
this.
like Age of
It
Empires
plays
3.
exactly the fucking same. It's like, okay, I get it. And like it was fun for about an hour. I did like one match or whatever. I was like, okay, I get it. I'm done. Like nothing new,
Graphics
nothing
look
new
cool.
about it. It looks good, I guess. Like it, I don't know. They didn't reinvent the wheel. They just made like a whatever it is, a 15-year-old game look a little bit better. It's like, I don't know. But I think the kind of mini little highlight was playing Left 4 Dead 2 with Richard and
Yeah.
who else was on that
fun.
game again? Was that you, Richard, and I, right, Santino?
Yeah.
That
Probably
was-
could have
Yeah,
used
the
the
three of
fourth.
us.
Oh god, I think we definitely could have used a fourth.
Yeah,
We
so
didn't
this-
even beat one level, but that didn't, it didn't really help that I was a little bit inebriated that night when we were playing. But
So apparently
So who was I?
this new content doesn't have levels. It is one sprint to the end. It's
oh
like
fuck off, nope.
yeah. So there was one point. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and assume everyone has played Left 4 Dead. So you play a little bit of this level typically, then you hit a safe room, you get a chance to restock on all your stuff, and then you go back out into the world, right? There's a little bit of a score, board that happens.
Hmm.
So when this Last Stand level dropped a couple weeks back, I was like, oh, a new level. Like I'm definitely down for a new level. Turns out this is just one continuous level. There's no safe room that you can even get yourself to in order to do the things that you typically do in the safe room. Take a breath and restock and get more health packs or med packs. They have them scattered throughout the world, but it's just chaos from the moment you decide to move out of the first area.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Left 4 Dead, I'm trying to remember exactly what the premise was. I mean, zombie survival, I know, but was it that one that you could craft really crazy weapons and shit like that?
That's Dead Rising, or actually, there's a bunch of them.
Oh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead was like the whole like the number 4 was kind of a pun, I guess, because it was a 4-player co-op game. Like you could play it by yourself with 3 AI buddies if you really wanted to, but like no, I don't think anyone actually did that. It was like a purely
And it was just
like
a
online
horde mode. It's like a horde mode type thing.
Well, I mean, there are
you can
levels.
progress through the levels, but I know what you mean. It's like it's just non-stop barrage of enemies, just waves and waves of enemies. They're just constantly shooting guys, and it's fast-paced as hell. It's based on the Half-Life 2 engine.
The big thing about it is that even though there are levels and they're linear, they're different every time. Either some makeup of the level, or certainly where they throw enemies at you in the animal, the kinds of enemies, how many enemies. So Valve called it the AI director, and it was basically like as if you were playing a movie, right? So everything was framed in this horror movie style, and the director was trying to say like, okay, they're doing really well. The AI director, I'm gonna throw some fucking big ass bosses at them at this next step, or I'm gonna change it to I'm gonna have a maze here instead of just a regular. Well, instead of going left, they have to go right, but if they go left, they'll end up having to circle back and go right. So there were some really cool procedural type setups to those levels that made it super replayable.
Yeah, it's a solid game, man. It's still fun too.
Yeah.
Like
How old is it now? It's like 10 years old.
Now.
Yeah, it's super old now.
When was it made? Like 1992? Sorry.
It came out 11 years ago.
11 years.
Left 4 Dead 2 came out 11 years ago, yeah. Which in like video game terms is 1992. It's like it feels like it's that old, even though it's really not that old.
Yeah.
Wow.
You and I also played.
You know what? I'm looking at the game now, and the name escaped me. But looking at some of the screens, I remember playing probably the first one or the second one. But
They're fun, man. They like I would never even think of playing it by myself. But like get 2 or 3 friends together and it's fun as hell. But then again there's a lot of games like that, right? So
Speaking of, you and I
State of
also
Decay, right? So
State of
State of
yeah.
Decay, same thing. Like I wouldn't play State of Decay by myself. But like even if there's one
Yeah.
other person that's like, "Hey, do you want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." And like there you go.
Which reminds me, we got to get what's his fix back in.
I want
another
to
round.
see the Juggernaut edition. I want to see how that runs on Series X because that's going to be optimized
Yeah, man.
for Series X too. Once that's out, I'll be back in.
Well, when is State of Decay 3 coming?
God knows. It's not even like there's no
okay.
release date announced at
Yeah.
all. It's coming, but yeah, who the hell knows when? And then
So
Just
go
love
on.
and I
flying
also
around
played-
and like opening up doors and bashing zombies in the face. So much fun. Go ahead.
we also played Crusader Kings 3.
Oh yeah, we
You
did. I
forgot
totally
about
forgot.
our
I totally
time.
forgot.
Your time as the king of Belgium.
Yeah, King
How could you
Boris.
forget?
King Boris of whatever the hell. Yeah, I can't even remember what country it
It
was
was
now.
Belgium. Wasn't it Belgium?
No, it wasn't Belgium. It was.
Was this, round 2?
Bolivia or something? I don't know.
Bolivia. Okay, sure. Yeah, it was round 2.
All right.
Dan fired up.
I
another
bit off.
game
I
and-
bit off way too much, or bit
But
off
you
way
keep-
more
you
than I
keep-
could chew. I was like, I'm gonna
you
be the
keep
king of the
taking
biggest country in the
kings.
game.
Stop taking kings. Take not kings. It's
Can't
so
do
much
it.
more fun.
Do like a Duke or something like that.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Do
the
something a little
funniest
lower
part,
level.
though, the funniest part.
Or an Earl or something.
So my wife got sick with, what was it called again? The consumption, which basically means she's an alcoholic and her liver's fucked. At least that's what I deduced
neurosis.
from that. So the consumption, because this is like the year 900 or whatever. So it's like that. Yeah, that's.
So hold on. I gotta stop you right there because as soon as you said my wife, I thought you were actually talking about your real wife there for a second, and I was
Yeah,
just
Tiff's
I was
a
real
raging
concerned.
alcoholic. Tiff's a raging alcoholic. Surprise, guys!
Anyways, go on.
I'm not the only drunk of the family.
Oh, I drink enough for the both of us. Cheers. Yeah. So my wife, it was like, oh, your wife has come down with the consumption or whatever, and the two options were, option number 1, get the physician immediately. We need to save her. Option number 2 was, I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like,
Oh, that's too bad.
oh well. So I hemmed and hawed for about 1 second and said, oh well. And yeah, she died within about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months or something like that. And I very, very quickly remarried.
Were there any
So funny. It was just like, come on, this is too funny, man. Meanwhile, my lands were being ravaged by all the countries around me. I was like, oh my god, what's happening?
Just remember, if you start at the top, the only place to go is down. Okay?
Tell
Whereas
that to Hitler. Good old Hitler.
And
That's weird. I just got
time
a
for a
Twitch
beer.
notification for Hitler. DMCA Hitler. Yeah, not quite like
Was this
Hitler.
in the show notes?
This was
don't
not.
think
This took a left turn at show
One
notes
second.
and
Full
ended up going
disclaimer?
off
Hitler.
Roadrunner Cliff.
Wait, yeah,
full
don't-
disclaimer? We
don't-
do not promote Hitler or not the no disclaimer.
Please don't sue us. Please
all
don't
for
sue us.
Please don't sue us.
This is the. Did you ever watch that Faulty Towers episode? Don't mention the war. I did once. I think I got away with it. Everything's fine. Anyway, what was I saying before Hitler? Pre-Hitler conversation.
I was gonna ask, did you happen to bump into some interesting clothing and garments or lack thereof in your
Oh,
vehicle.
one
not
was
this one.
naked.
This one was no one had their tits out this time.
They came out with a pretty big patch a couple weeks back, which I don't know if they fixed that sort of stuff, but they fixed a lot of things.
It was straight up random because you like the game that we played. I was like, why
Yeah.
is Dan's wife naked?
Well, they'd be. I'd always choose like the whatever the traits were, like sultry or whatever they called themselves, like sassy or I don't know what the fuck they. Whatever, yeah, whatever those little traits where I was like, oh yeah, that sounds hilarious. Anything that sounded funny, I would select it. But yeah, Richard, you've played this. You've played this game more than anybody, I think. Can you take over like the whole, effectively the whole world?
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
okay.
With proper strategy, absolutely. You can take over the whole map.
Why are you emphasizing proper strategy there, Richard?
Oh, no
Are you
reason.
trying to say something? Are you trying to say something, Richard? Instead of me
Yeah,
having my entire country whittled away piece by piece?
Yeah, let me just say that maybe spending all your money on raising armies and fighting wars where you're not going to win is not a great way to go about taking over the world.
All right,
Diplomacy,
duly noted.
skullduggery, these are all encouraged in place of or in lieu of not having enough money to just raise hell.
I
haven't played any more. I've only played
okay.
with you the 2 times and John that first time. So, but I've played a ton of CK2, and there's a lot of parallels. So
Yeah.
I still think the most fun that you can have in this game are doing 2 things. You take a low level, Duke or Duchy or whatever, and then you work your way up from there by just clicking buttons. Right? Don't worry about all the other stuff. It'll kind of sort itself out if you don't want to engage with the systems.
That's
and
what
you
I
just have
finally
fun
did.
with-
That's what I finally did when the last time you and I played. I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just gonna start messing around and see what I can do. And that's when it was. That's when it started to become pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like it's so stupidly deep. Like watching. I think I was talking to you about it. It was like watching. I think Quill 18 play the game. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is he doing?
So-
I don't even understand
so
any of that
he's-
stuff.
He's currently in the process of taking over the world, but in as he goes through it, he knows all the systems. He's created a new splinter religion about chocolatism, all about
Of course. What?
Whiskey and chocolate is Quill 18's thing. If you guys don't
whiskey
know.
and chocolate.
So anyway, you can do a whole ton of stuff here essentially. So he's the
That's
head of the
funny,
chocolatism, religion. And he's taken over a massive part of the world already. Yeah. So anyway,
That's
play a little just bring yourself down from king. You don't always have to be king.
Yeah,
You can get to
alright,
king.
fine.
You gotta start down here.
All right, fine. Next time.
Fair.
Speaking of next time, there are a few kind of rather big games coming out in the next week.
Yep.
So I think there may be some things that we'd be able to talk
Are,
about.
are we
a
just
bit more
skipping
next
over
week.
what Santino's played?
Yeah, he plays iRacing. Next.
I think I see something else there. Did you install?
I installed Ghost Recon. That's right. I installed it. That's all I did.
You installed it. Doesn't count.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm playing. Yeah, no, sorry, not playing. You can erase it from the show notes. Sorry, it's just iRacing.
I think it
Continue.
counts because we're all over the age of 35, almost 40. Installing a game is half the battle.
Yeah,
right? Like finding
I
the
agree.
time.
You don't want to see
Making
my
the
desktop.
commitment.
You don't want to see my desktop. That's all it is a battle.
A lot of battles.
There's a lot of battles on my
It's a
desktop.
minefield.
Right
It's a minefield.
now. I just stare at my desktop, get frustrated, and watch YouTube for 3 hours. But yeah, so next week, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Nick. You might actually be interested in this more than actually no, and John. Oh, we're getting breaking news here. Yes,
I only know her by her
Richard is on the.
I only know her by her acronym. Okay, there it is. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yep. Oh
I
yeah,
said
she's
that right?
streaming on Twitch right now.
She is, and she's streaming Among Us. She just hit the 3rd highest streaming event on Twitch all time.
Of course.
Oh wow, that's pretty nuts, man.
Earlier when I
390
looked, how many?
390,000 concurrent viewers.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Earlier when I started,
There are
Right.
some
Peaked.
lonely boys out there.
that was the peak.
Peaked at 498.
498. Oh
Wow.
my god, get out.
So it's only behind Ninja and Drake and the Return of Shroud.
Good lord.
Wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
There's too many people on this planet. That's all it is. There's too many people on this planet.
Speaking
I'm
of,
not
we
gonna
all need
lie,
to
I
play some
followed her
Among
though.
Us.
I followed
Can
her.
we play some Among Us? We need to play some Among Us.
We can
I think
we
Saturday-
can play tonight if we're done
I
this.
did
early
buy
enough. I think we all own it.
I did.
We all bought it.
I didn't do the battle of installing it yet.
Yeah, I've still got to install it. I haven't turned on my
Saturday night.
desktop PC in about 3 months, so
Saturday night. Why don't we get
I think
together?
it still might work.
Because what?
Let's-
Is it
let's-
10 player for Among Us? Yeah, 10 player for Among Us. So
10?
why don't we
Yeah.
on Saturday night? Let's do it.
Yeah, let's talk
Yeah,
after.
that's
Be able to
awesome.
do that.
But yeah, there's a game coming out actually tomorrow. That was the reason I never bothered trying it was because it was early access or early preview, which I don't know. I'm weird. I don't really like getting into those games all that much. Especially if I have to pay for them. Stuff like Grounded, I didn't mind playing because it was free. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. What do I have to lose? I might as well try it. But Scourgebringer, I don't know if you guys have heard of that game. It's Scourgebringer. It's kind of like a Dead Cells. It looks like a really, really cool kind of like pixel art, like action, like
Former?
really fast paced kind of thing. It looks fucking awesome, and the reviews have been amazing for it. And I believe it's gonna be on Game Pass and PC tomorrow, like the full game. I think, yeah. It's coming out on
Nice.
Switch as well. It's coming out on Switch as well, but obviously, I think we all have PCs, if not PCs and Xboxes, so it's, something to look forward to tomorrow. It looks like it's got an 84 on OpenCritic, which is pretty damn solid to me, so
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
What is this, a roguelite or is this a Metroidvania?
I don't think it's a roguelite. I think it's more of just like a Dead Cells game, like a progressive, like go through the level, kind of like not a you're gonna die a million times. Oh wait, never mind. I'm reading it right here. Scourgebringer is a fast-paced, free-moving roguelite platformer.
Great.
There you go.
So it's exactly what you just said. But yeah,
Yeah.
it looks so good. It looks really, really cool. I'm pretty pumped to try it out. So, if you like those types of games, like pixel art, like Dead Cells, it's definitely something to check out.
Yeah, man. I'll definitely be checking.
And then like the 3 other games next week that I saw were that Ghost Runner, which I don't know if anyone's actually had a chance to play Ghost Runner. It's fucking awesome.
It looks so good. It looks
It's
so
cheap
good.
too. It's cheap. I think it's like 40 or 50 bucks Canadian for the full release. It's kind of like Mirror's Edge, but like more cyberpunk, kind of futuristic. I guess Mirror's Edge is futuristic, but it's more gory and visceral and kind of cyberpunk-esque. It looks really, really cool. It runs so fast too, even on my crappy PC. And then the Watch Dogs Legion's actually out next week, which is nuts because
Oh, that's soon already.
yeah, the game that was supposed to be out in February.
All right.
So I'm half want to try it out.
yeah.
But like I played Watch Dogs 2. I liked it. I'm not sure about Legion.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm gonna wait
Not
for
sure.
I'm gonna wait for the reviews for this one because even then though, because like Watch Dogs 2 got decent reviews, but I played it and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. Like the DedSec guys were kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like that whole crew, the characters were kind of neat.
Yeah.
But like
What I liked was being able
stealthy
to
stuff, the
jump
stealth.
in.
Yeah, but like they like mash in stealth and action like really, really oddly, and I couldn't get into like the whole. They tried to mash way too many genres together. I was like, just make it fucking like Grand Theft Auto 5. Just make it that with some hacking. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I
did
need
like that.
Yeah, the hacking stuff
So I
was
did like-
awesome.
This is starting to.
So when
The new one is starting to remind.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, John.
I was gonna say what I really liked was the multiplayer you can hack other players that drop it
That
jump into your
was
game.
cool. I do remember that. That was really cool.
That was super cool.
That as a concept was like amazing, and it really enriched the environment that you're playing in, right? Because so you're kind of always looking over your shoulder, or always like, all right, is someone actually going to jump in and hack my game?
And I think you could opt into that, couldn't you? You could be like, I don't want to do that shit. It's stupid. Or you could be like, why not? And you got rewarded.
Yeah.
You got rewarded if you got found, or sorry, if you found the guy, or if you didn't get
You
found
found
by
them
him
and killed
or
them.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The thing about the number.
Yeah, go on, Nick.
Go on.
The thing about number 3 is it's starting to remind me a lot about how Saints Row started. Is the wild characters, the masks, the character, the customizations and stuff like that, and it's not obviously to the extreme that Saints Row was, but you can kind of see that they're starting to venture down that road, right?
Yeah.
Well, then again, though, that being said, Saints
Yeah.
Row the Third was like the
See
best
that
one.
But
in my opinion, number 3 was the best.
But it started super serious, right? Just the way that Watch Dogs 1 was super like.
Yeah, but then again, that kind of worked.
dude.
That kind of worked against Saints Row almost, at least in my opinion. Like Saints Row 1 was just like, this is a shittier version of Grand Theft Auto. And then number 2 started getting a bit goofier. I was like, this is pretty fun. And then Saints Row 3 was like, it wasn't full on goofy ridiculousness, but it was like, it was really fun, and I thought it was a perfect harmony of everything. And then Saints Row 4 was just like off the rails stupid. I didn't like it really at all. Like Saints Row 3 was like really, really fun.
It's good.
I don't know. And I think the only other game that was like next Friday was Pikmin 3, which I don't think anyone here is probably going to even bother with, but
No,
I've never played a Pikmin game.
what? Oh, you
Nope.
Neither have I.
they are
Neither.
really
Yeah,
definitely rent it or whatever if you can, Richard. They're really, really fun games. Like I can't recommend buying it to anybody because it's like it's gonna be $80 Canadian. I'm like, no, there's way too many other games that I would recommend buying instead of Pikmin 3 for God's sake. But if you have an opportunity to play it for a few hours, do it because they're really, really good games. And I think this was on the Wii U and it's like the deluxe version or something for the Switch. So they added a bunch of extra stuff to it, kind of like the Captain Toad's game where they added a whole bunch of crap. Yeah, which was also really good, but you have to be into those types of games.
Number 17 on 8 copies.
Mm.
So I'll get it eventually.
You'll get nice.
Number 12 on 4 copies of Legion.
That's doable.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do video game 20 questions next week. We're running a bit late this week, but we will be back next week. I want to do something fun, kind of Halloween-y, because next week is, Halloween.
He said weenie.
Bullshit. Next week is not Halloween, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this
No.
Saturday, but next Saturday is Halloween.
No, the week after.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Next week.
It's the 20th.
It's been canceled in Mississauga, so I mean, like, really, I don't care.
Did it get canceled officially?
They haven't made it official, but
They're not gonna.
they're going
They're
to.
not
I mean,
gonna
our
make.
numbers are just all over the
Yeah,
place.
they're not gonna make it
We're
official,
just doing-
but they're just gonna say, please, fucking, please don't. They're not gonna. They can't
Keep it
make it.
within
They
your
can't
family.
make it. Yeah, they can't make it official. Can you imagine? Hey, you little Timmy, give me that candy. Go home.
I mean, I'm sure they could make it official.
What martial law?
Well, if
on
it's bad enough,
Halloween
they
night?
can make huge recommendations, right? I
That's all
think
they can
I
do.
think
That's all they can do is ask people
Yeah.
nicely to not do it, right?
Yeah. We're going to get the fire pits going in the backyard, and we'll roast marshmallows. We're going to have some spiced cider, and we've invited our neighbors over, and we'll throw a TV out there, and we'll watch, movies, and call it a day. It's full moon, Saturday.
Just make
Can't
sure you
go
turn,
wrong.
make sure you
As long
turn
as
off
it's
your
not
lights.
snowing.
Make sure you turn off your
77
lights.
inch CX to put outside by the fire.
The what?
What's this?
Oh
A
yeah,
77 inch
your LG CX.
LG CX OLED out by the fire. I think that would be great. You need a fire.
I think you're talking about John.
Am
Mine's
I?
I
mounted
don't
to a
think John's
wall.
talking to us. He's muted right now.
He is too.
I don't know who he's talking to.
Hey, there he is.
Come on now. So I would love a 75-inch outside. I've got a nice fire table. I can set that up. I can go look at the full
75
moon.
inch. 75
then
inch. Is your TV just like growing exponentially every time you talk about it?
Not 75, the 70. It's the 77, 78 inch is the
77.
77.
95? 95.
They have 95.
There's projectors out there, right?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
So yeah, we're gonna be back next week with I'm gonna say weenie again, some Halloweeny fun. Tee
He said weenie.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Uh.
See ya.